Welcome in, y'all. Timeshare Clarence. First and foremost, as always, I want to thank God for blessing me with another day, another opportunity to work towards becoming the man I desire to be. Um, the last couple of days, I guess it's always been kind of something that's I'm aware of, but I want to say in the past few days, especially, um, I feel like my perspective as a father, we're trying to make sure that I create a certain environment for my kids goes hand in hand with me accepting the same thing as far as my relationship with God. When I really look at all of the all of the benefits I have, all the things I've been blessed with, all the opportunities I have, it's like he he really set me up for success, but I still got to do my part. So that's what I'm gonna talk about today. Just kind of being more attentive to the lessons that I could potentially learn as a child, right? In the way that I parent and the perspective that I have as a father. So it really made me look at my relationship with Sophia, um, and kind of take some lessons from that. So Sophia is 9 years old, so I don't have unrealistic expectations that a 9 year old can do everything to take care of themselves, but she can do the vast majority of the things that she needs to do without any help or assistance or even instruction. So, those things I should be able to count on her doing it, right? Um, Not because I felt like, well, she's 9 years old, she should be able to do it, but because I've taught her and I've explained to her, I've had her explain to me, and I'm only speaking about what I've done because I would also say uh, another factor is I'm also aware of at least some of the things that she's been taught by her mother, by her grandmother, by her aunts, her uncles. So it's not an assumption the kid is this age, so they should be able to do this. It's no, she's been taught, told, demonstrated everything under the sun to ensure that not only is she aware of what she's supposed to do, but she knows the proper way to do it, or at least whatever the standard is for me. So recently, like I expect Micah to be emotional for one reason, which is he's sleepy. Because that's typically the only time I deal with him being emotional, where he's crying and he's frustrated because we don't like everything else is pretty simple. If they hungry, I'll fix them something to eat. If they want to watch a movie, it's something that we all gotta agree on. But a lot of times they just on their phones or entertaining themselves. We do watch My Hero Academia on a regular basis. They like Steven Universe, so on and so forth. But I don't want to ramble about that. Point is, with Micah, right, the thing that I focus most on to try to regulate his emotions and therefore his experience, because I want him to have a good day, you know, is to make sure he got enough sleep. Because if he didn't get enough sleep, he gonna have a bad morning, and then that's gonna set the day up to be bad, so on and so forth. So that's the struggle with Micah. But with Sophia, I'm trying to get her to understand that I'm okay with her doing what makes her happy, which at this point in time, they all got these little games they could play online with their friends and be on FaceTime and playing the games and interacting. Cool, no problem. but it's a problem if she didn't do what she's supposed to do first. And I've gone out of my way to not only ensure that she understands, but also to make it easy for her. So that's the parallel between my situation with Sophia and then my situation with God, just reverse the roles, right? So, what have I done to make life easy on my kids? So, first and foremost, very similar to my dad. I will answer any questions my kids and ask me. I'm gonna give them an answer. I'm gonna explain to them whatever it is and try to make sure that they understand. Whether I feel like they really get it or not, I'm gonna try to explain it to them. Uh, if they ask me a question, so she does get the benefit of having a lot of conversations with me for her to not only understand what I want her to do, but why I want her to do it, why I believe it's important for her in the long run, and why I'm trying to teach her now so that so again, it might be too much, but that's what it is. But not only do I do that, I'll ask her questions for her to explain to me anything that where there's an expectation, right? I'm never just gonna say, hey, do this and walk away. So if there's a chore or expectation of her, I've it wasn't established until she could both explain to me what she needed to do, why she needed to do it, why it was important, and then also demonstrate that she could do it. And at that point, I don't need to watch her load the dishwasher no more. I explain to her why you put the plates in a certain way, silvers, and so on and so forth. So all these things, I go to great lengths to try to ensure that I'm making things as easy as possible on my kids while also maintaining my responsibility as a father to prepare them for life without me, right? When they go out into the world, there are certain things they need to have understanding of, and I feel like it's my responsibility with the time that I have with them to ensure that they have that. But I still try to make it easy. So the things that I don't trip off some things that other parents trip off. Like I'm not like my kids not gonna sit up and eat ice cream all day, but my kids can pretty much have whatever they want. We go to the store and they want something, yeah, we gonna get it. But I mean, if they want to do something, they can play on the phone all night. I don't care, as long as they did what they were supposed to do first. So we gonna get the ice cream, we gonna get the chocolate milk, we gonna get the snacks, we gonna get the stuff they want. But when they ask me for it, before you get some chocolate milk or before you get some juice, did you drink some water? Right? So I got very consistent standards, but I'm not really restrictive about what my kids can do. Can I get some ice cream? Did you eat? Did you finish your food? Right? I'll fix dinner. Your plate's still sitting on the table, so you asking me about some ice cream, it don't make sense because again, you got dinner. I still see a plate sitting over there. I still see macaroni on the table, and I still see broccoli on the table, and you ain't even eat your food, but you ask. So that's how I interact with my kids. Is mostly to establish that there aren't really limitations on what they can do, but it still comes with them first doing what they're supposed to do. You do what you're supposed to do first, then you get to do what you want to do. You eat what you're supposed to eat, then you get to eat what you want to eat. So, with Sophia and Micah being here, I'm not. Micah's 5. I don't feel like it's fair just because he's the baby to place unrealistic expectations on him. Now he's still gonna do most things earlier than the other kids, but like it's not about to be extreme. I'm not about to give Micah the same expectations that I give Sophia. Yeah, he still got to put his clothes up and pick his toys up and clean up after himself. He can't just throw stuff on the floor and leave it. He got to clean up after himself to the extent, but it's not like, hey, Micah, you have this chore, you're responsible. Sophia's responsible for loading and unloading the dishwasher. That's it. Anything else would be classified as picking up or cleaning up after themselves, which they're both required to do. The only thing she's required to do more than that is load and unload the dishwasher. So the first thing Sophia want to do when she get up in the morning is get on the phone. That's what she want to do. Then I get why she wants to do it. It's her cousin, it's her friend. It's not just her. It's all these little kids all over the place, all connected, playing this game, talking to each other. And I mean, I see the appeal. But not before you brush your teeth and take a bath and put on some clean clothes and like take care of what you're supposed to take care of first. Now, how do I make the things easy? I don't want my apartment to be a mess. I don't want my kids to be looking like nobody don't care about them. So, between me and their mom, we try to make sure they have everything that they need. Um, Period. So, I, because of my experience, have kind of shifted the way I manage my household from the standpoint of before I was like trying to just accept that this is the struggle part of my life and really not just spend any money on anything for comfort or convenience. And then I realized like, nah, why am I punishing myself? Like I should, instead of making the worst of the situation, I should make the most of the situation. So see the things that had the most impact and make sure I had those things. So it's little things that I realize they have a huge impact, and it's not really a lot of money. It's just if I prioritize those things, it has way more impact than if I spend money on other stuff that isn't as consistently impactful. So these things are very small things. Straws, right? Make smoothies. The kids want straws. So straws, Kleenex, paper towels, stuff like that. That in a lot of situations in my childhood or in my young adulthood, I didn't have because I saw those things as unnecessary. I saw those things as luxuries. Even some as small as Kleenex, like you can blow your nose with tissue. That's some extra stuff. But now I got a lot of the extra stuff, but it's all little stuff. So I don't have anything, I don't live in extravagance. That's not really what dictates my quality of life. But when I think about being a single father, again, I don't want my stuff messed up. So I got like sanitizing wipes in every room because they gonna spill some or it's gonna be some that need to be wiped off. I walked in the room the other day and in the light switch, all around the light switch, somebody touched it with something on their hand. Again, I'm gonna wipe that off real quick because it's inevitable that they're gonna spill stuff, and it's inevitable it's gonna be something sticky on the floor, or the table need to be wiped off real quick, or the counter need to be wiped off. So I literally have disinfectant wipes in every room, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in my room, in their room, in the living room, every room, to make it convenient that if I see something that need to be taken care of, I can take care of it immediately. Or if they do something where they need to wipe something up, then it's easy for them to do that. Another reason that I have all white towels so that I could bleach them so they don't have smells in them. A lot of little small things. Again, it's Kleenex in every room. It's lotion in every room. So all of these small things, but on a daily basis, we're using these things. So I would rather ensure that we have all of those things, as far as just to make life convenient on an everyday basis versus like trying to provide this extraordinary quality of life and extravagance, because like that's not really what has the most impact. So anyway, I have everything set up where it's just convenient for them. Laundry is simple. Most of their clothes are similar colors. We got 2 baskets in the hallway. Once you take your clothes off, take a bath, when you come out of the bathroom, bring your clothes. Before you even get to the room, the laundry basket's right there. So put the color stuff in the color basket, put the towels in the white basket, done. So why is all of this relevant? Because I can identify all of the things that I've done to make it easy on my kids to do what I want them to do. But they want to do something different. Now, they can still do what they want to do, regardless. But if they do the things the way I set up for them to do, not only will they be able to do the things that they want to do, but they'll be able to do more. And plane or some whatever. Hopefully that noise not too bad. But anyway, like their situation would be so much better for them if they just did it the way that I set it up to be done. So when I'm thinking about that with Sophia, then I immediately start looking at my life in the same thing. Like, okay, what has God done for me, and what am I trying to do? So, like, I'm Sophia plan is to get up in the morning and get on the phone with her friends and play the game. Now, what I want her to do before she does that is very reasonable. Brush your teeth, take a bath, put on some lotion, put on some clean clothes, and if it's dishes in the dishwasher, because that's her responsibility, do that. Now, to do all of that stuff, it really don't take more than a half hour. And then for the rest of the day, she's free to do, well, until we have dinner or whatever. But for a very long period of time, she'll be able to do what she want to do. No stress, no frustration, or whatever. But instead of doing that, she want to do what she want to do first. And that's the same thing I see, like, with me. I wanted to be a manager. I wanted to be a manager. Like, that's my plan. That's gonna provide me with the stability that I need to be able to do stuff outside of work that I need to do, yada yada yada. And not just that, a lot of different things. And then I look at what I have, and everything that I have is really set up for me to be a single father and be a sales rep, because that's what's most beneficial for me, for my kids, for my for everything. But I was trying to do it my way and not looking at how easy God set it up for me to do it his way. Same way I set it up easy for Sophia to do it my way, but if she want to do it her way, we gonna have a problem. And that's really what I've experienced, and that's what I realized now why I've been dealing with the stuff that I've been dealing with, is because instead of looking at what God laid out for me and just accepting it and committing to it and investing in it, I've been trying to do what I want to do. I've been trying to execute my plan. And when I really think about it, like, unfortunately, if my plan not aligned with God's plan, my plan is going to fail. And I've seen it time and time again. But it didn't hit me until I saw it in Sophia. Like, I'm doing the same thing. No matter how many times God shows me that I should do things a certain way, and that if I do things if I do those things the way that it's intended, that he intends for me to do it, then that's when I thrive. And I look at the situation I've been put in, and I have to, because he don't always spell it out, but when I look at it, it's like, okay, if this is my situation, what can I do to maximize it? And I look at where I've been put, and right now, in the past few months, what has changed. So I'm not on the team I wanted to be on. I'm not really in the position that I wanted to be in. I got my disability. I already have FMLA, but I still factor that in, because just looking at the way to utilize it, that's gonna allow me to function best as a single father. My off days got switched. So all of these things, and when I look at, okay, so he telling me that what's for me is not what I wanted, but it's so much bigger than what I wanted, because I just wanted to be a manager for the stability, but he gave me the stability with my disability, so now I don't need that, and there's so much more potential as a rep. But I haven't been working on trying to be a great rep. I've been working on trying to be a good manager. So my off days change. So I haven't had Sundays off for a very long time. Now I got Sunday off. So I don't have an excuse not to find a church home. So he did a lot of stuff that if I look at it, it's like, okay, he basically telling me this is what I need to do. I need to focus on being a sales rep, right? I need to find a good church home, and I need to maximize the potential of the situation that he put me in and provided for me, because he has provided for me. And really, the excuse that I had before is taken away, because the reason that I wanted that is because I don't want to have stress and anxiety about paying my bills. So he removed it. So, like, the same way I make it easy for my kids to do what I want them to do, based off me understanding it's important for them to do it a certain way, and learn these lessons. God did the same thing for me, and I've been just as resistant or disobedient as my kids been, and I'm not doing that no more. So that's where I'm at, trying to get on God's plan. And a lot of it is very similar to my plan, but really focus on the situation that I'm in, and then try to process and think about, okay, why would God put me there versus why am I here? But if God put me here, what is it that he saw where I could benefit from having these days off? What is it that he saw that I could benefit from just every blessing? So that's where I'm at. So just from a parenting standpoint, I continue to learn so much from my kids. Up until this point, it's primarily, I mean, it's been lessons from all of them, but I feel like the most have come from listening to Aaliyah. But just observing and then processing my interaction with Sophia and Mike, I'm also learning a lot from them. And hopefully it makes me a better parent. And hopefully it also makes me a better child. And I start listening to and acting on the things that my father has prepared for me, the same way I want my kids to do. So anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time, Timeshare Clarence. Peace.